All right, welcome to yet another episode of Leadership Story Unscripted Podcast. Today we have the privilege of having with us two co-founders of Nuts Over Mutts. They are Manvi Gupta and Puneet Palaha. They've done wonderfully well over the past few years in catering to various food nutrition needs for dog lovers. So, can you elaborate more in terms of what your brand does?
Great. Thanks, Manvi. Thanks for having us on this podcast. We are the co-founders of Nuts Over Mutts. We manufacture, retail, and distribute fresh food for dogs in the premium dog food category, and it's an all-natural range without any chemical preservatives. Manli is the heart and soul of the brand, and she's the one who came up with the idea of how Nuts Over Mutts food will be catered to the needs of dogs in terms of nutrition, in terms of food, etc. I think it's best that she takes over and starts and gives you the whole idea of what Nuts or What's about, what we have done, and
Hello, hi Manveer. It's a pleasure to be here. I truly believe that there are three pillars to the right care when it comes to a dog. One is nutrition, one is hygiene, that's grooming and personal care, and the third one is exercise. We, Nuts Over Mutts, operates in the first one, that is the nutrition space.
Right.
We are on a mission to eliminate junk food from a dog's diet. If you were to look outside today, there are many options that are there when it comes to dog food. But if you were to read the labels, they are full of chemicals, preservatives, fillers, usually low quality ingredients that do not add any benefit to a dog's life. And that is exactly what we are here to eliminate. So, in a nutshell, this is the core underlying mission and the belief that we're going with to improve dogs' lives through the right nutrition, one mouthful, one bowl at a time.
Wonderful, wonderful. So glad to have both of you together at this podcast. So let's start with some fun questions and then we'll move on to the rapid fire round right at the end. Let's start with the whole beginning. How did Nuts Over Mutts come to life and what sparked the idea?
So, Nuts Over Mutts is the result of a very personal journey that we had as dog parents. We adopted Poppy about 9 years ago, and at that time, when she came into our lives, she was not doing too well on the regular food that you get for dogs, the kibble, the packaged food. Her health was not was taking a dip, and I said that there's something wrong, and that got me seeking answers. I started researching on pet nutrition. I consulted with canine nutritionists at that time, so I started cooking for her. I started putting her bowls together, and honestly, today she's a 9-year-old senior puppy.
Wow.
All because of that switch to fresh food from store-bought packaged food, and that's what sparked the idea that this has to be made available at a larger scale, easier available to more dog parents, because I genuinely believe that improve Poppy's life, that it can improve a lot more dogs' life.
Amazing, amazing. So, as they say, necessity is a mother of invention. And there we go. We have a brand.
and interestingly, you were having Ranveer after that. She was making bowls for Poppy, and we were cooking her food. Then friends who had dogs, they said, Poppy's looking much more better over the last few months. What are you feeding her? You said, this is what we feed, and then we offer the same to them as well. Then their friends, so it just expanded into a very natural circle. Dog parents were exactly asking us for those meals and those recipes, and they can make them at home. That was the beauty of it all.
Right.
Make bowls together, simple ingredients, very fresh, very natural, and that's what gave Manvi also a lot more confidence to dig deeper into the space.
Right.
And she did a course in care and nutrition and expanded the horizon. So the journey started small, but it built so naturally into who we are now.
Lovely, lovely. What were each of your roles in the early days and how have they evolved?
I think as a startup owner, you're wearing multiple hats. You're doing literally everything. Okay, whether it is going in the morning and checking out the sabji mandis to see the right vendors to get your vegetables from, going to the meat mandi to figure out who are the butchers you want to get your meats from, right? To finding kitchen spaces, finding warehouses, and running around and doing a lot of these odd jobs that you normally in your corporate job would not even be exposed to. So, of course, there was a lot of running around. There's a lot of reading up on what we are doing. How do we improve? How do we launch? Branding, packaging, things that we never dealt with before. We learned that on the go. Today, I think earlier, of course, we used to do everything ourselves.
So yeah,
And
mopping, swapping the kitchen floor, to helping the staff put the meals together, to packing, to delivering the food across, we've done it all.
yeah, barish ho gayi, I have done deliveries. You know,
Food can't stop.
I've done everything.
The dogs can't stop eating, so you have to deliver the food on time and made sure it happens. So we have done that. You've gone to the markets, as Manvi was saying, went to packaging, vendors, partners, did it all from scratch. Did it all,
Today-
and this it's also very gratifying, no?
But today we have a team, of course, and even then I would say that although we have clearly defined roles, there are people who are handling verticals, who have responsibilities around all of this. But I think it's your little baby. You never really, you kind of keep an eye on everything still. So although you have teams in place, you have people in place who are doing the work, you kind of the hat of overseeing everything and making sure it's all done as per your specifications never ends.
So to put it simply, we micromanaged everything at the beginning, but we also realized that the scale at to which we are were growing and what we are at now, delegation is important, and you need the right people. So when we started building those teams, we had SOPs in place for every function. We got the right guys, we trained them. Then as the business grew, the credibility increased. We also started doing a lot more work. These teams took over. You know, earlier what we were doing in terms of being in the kitchen, being in the operational side, 110%. Now we do 90%. But we know the teams are there to take care of everything.
Right.
And then that's how we've also evolved as an organization. So the journey has been amazing in that sense as well.
One step at a time. Wonderful. Okay. So the next question that I have for you is that the pet food industry is growing rapidly, but also getting, crowded. How do you differentiate nuts over mutts in such a competitive market?
The industry is definitely growing. There are a lot of new brands that are coming into the space. So, yes, there is a lot of competition. I think in nuts over mutts, there are certain principles that we operate with. Dog welfare, of course, is the heart, is the core of what we do, right? We are continuously talking to our customers to understand their needs and pain points. And that is how, that fuels our product innovation,
Right.
which is extremely research backed. So we're able to, we stay ahead of the curve because we're continuously listening to the customers, innovating, backed by research, newer trends that are coming into the market
Right.
to stay ahead of the curve. So for example, it's summer now, and we know, we've heard from parents that hydration is a problem.
Right.
So what do we do? One thing is you can say ki pani pilao, which everybody is saying. What we did is we launched a liquid meal. Okay, so your dog is pickier in the summer. So make the meal slightly more palatable, so that they eat it and at the same time they get hydrated as they're eating them.
Okay.
Right? We've launched a range of bone broths, which we've now educated our customers that you can freeze it and make it into little ice cubes and give them in the summer, cools them down, as well as provide nutrition.
And that's okay with them.
That's okay with that.
So much palatable. And I'll just add on to that. The importance is nutrition still remains the core. So the bone broth that we have a chicken, we have a fish, and we have a mutton bone broth. Our fish bone broth is very good because it provides a lot of omega-3 and 6, which is good for the coat, the skin of the dog, especially in the summer. The chicken bone broth has a lot of glucosamine, chondroitin, collagen, calcium, and protein. Similarly with the mutton bone broth. These are very healthy products. These are highly palatable, and they also aid in the functioning of the dog during the summer months. Similarly, the winters, they work equally well in the winters. But I think what Mambi is also saying is that we hear a lot, we talk to the clients a lot, we build it in our innovation cycle. The other thing we have done very well, and we did it from the first day when we started, was we have a veterinary doctor on board as part of the team. We also have a canine nutritionist on the TO. So the recipes are curated very well. There is science behind it. There is a lot of feedback behind it. It keeps on adding to what we're doing. The most important part after that, we make sure the quality and the consistency of the product in food products that we manufacture never go down. I will feed the same thing to my dogs that will go to your household for your dogs. There would be no difference. And that is the other thing that we absolutely work on.
Lovely.
product innovation is so important, and that's what we really focus on, because good products are the core of the business.
Absolutely.
Right? There are a lot of dogs with medical issues, especially as dogs age. They develop kidney issues, liver issues, arthritis, hip dysplasia. Pregnant dogs have a very different dietary need than normal dogs. Puppies, adults, at each stage of life, your dietary needs change. So we have custom meal plans to cater to kidney issues. It'll be a low protein meal plan. Arthritis will be a meal plan with high glucosamine, high chondroitin, high calcium. Like that.
Vegan as well.
We, and weight management is a huge issue nowadays. Dogs are into confined spaces. They're growing up instead of farms in apartments, right? So that they tend to get obesity. Dogs especially are facing an issue of obesity.
Yeah, not much movement.
Not much movement, not much exercise.
low, right?
Activity rate.
That one little walk or two little walks around, it's not enough. And they're being fed because that's how parents think that jitna khana denge, utna hum pyar dikha rahe. Right? So what's resulting is that they're obese. So now it's weight management. So all of these diets are in place in the fresh food space. I think we're the only brand who's doing that. So all of this has come by because we focused on product innovation, keeping customer need in mind. And that's how we stay ahead of the curve. We're not following trends. I'd really like to believe that we're setting the trends
Lovely.
in this
Lovely. Wonderful. Okay. What kind of food supplements should we provide to our dogs, and when to maintain its health?
Right question for you.
What kind of food and supplements? See, depending on the age of the dog, the dietary needs change. So whether it's a puppy, they need a high calorie, high protein, high calcium diet because they're growing. Their skeletal system is growing, the muscular system is growing. Once you come into the adult category, that is where you need maintenance diet, which is, you should not gain weight. It should be, you're not going to grow in structure anymore. You've developed your skeletal structure. So you have to now maintain your body composition. Once you come into the senior age category, that is when you are, your metabolism slows down. You're not that agile anymore. So your joints are not that healthy anymore, or they may be, they're not that strong anymore. So you need a slightly low calorie diet because you don't burn as much as when you are into the adult dog space, but you still need protein. So higher protein, but low calorie diet. So this is how, depending on the age, it changes. The other change comes into if there's any medical condition. So for example, if you have a kidney condition, or with senior dogs, usually something or the other, if there's a medical condition attached, that's when again custom diets come into place. Right. If you have a kidney issue, you need a low protein diet because you're not processing protein the same way. If you have arthritis or hip dysplasia, you need glucosamine, chondroitin, you need a higher dose of calcium, balance with phosphorus. So things like that, it depends on the ailment, but ballpark, good exercise, good hygiene, good nutrition, age-appropriate nutrition. If they've been fed the right nutrition at puppy and adult stage, chances are that they will be healthier in their senior ages.
Not very different from you and I, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Lovely. Have you ever faced any misconceptions from customers about the value or need for dehydrating or fresh food? Dehydrated or fresh food?
Absolutely. I think somewhere, customers think that, "Arey, ye to khana, it looks very much like your home food and this is not enough. And jo package mein aata hai, wo dog food hai, usme minerals hain, usme chemicals hain or whatever. That is the right dog food." I think, but that conception is changing now. Right? There have been enough studies published around how chemical-free food is better for your dogs.
Right.
And but I think there is some level of educating that comes on our part. Right. One is around the first battle you have to face in India is veg versus non-veg. Exactly. That is a battle that we continuously kind of educate our customers on. And the second one is fresh versus kibble. I don't think either, there's no good or bad. You have to just choose what is right for your dog. And move forward in that way.
I just like to add and refine it that the question I think you were asking was not about dehydrated food, it was more about kibble, which is the manufactured, factory produced food, which is the small pellets that is sold. But that's a drier food which has very low moisture content and full of chemicals.
See, we are also launched in kibble. Kibble necessarily may not be bad. I mean, but the problem is that today the mass kibble that we have in the market is full of chemicals, preservatives, fillers,
additives,
byproducts. That is what gives it, the unhealthy aura that it's getting. Otherwise, we are in the process of launching our own kibble, which is not extruded. It's baked. It contains only natural ingredients. So there are some dogs that do work better on dry food than wet. They're not able to switch because they've eaten that since their childhood. So cater to them. Our need is to cater to every dog. So you're not switching to wet food. Okay, let me give you a better dry food.
But let me just add to that. The other important aspect is that the food, especially the dog food category or even the animal food category, the nutritional analysis is very critical. What exactly is that diet comprising of? So we do that for every kind of food that we have, and that makes it very, very important. Whether it's this much protein, this much carb, this is the kind of energy level, this is the kind of calcium. It's important to do that. Again, reading the labels and what gets served inside the bowl, they have to be the same. They can't be very different or off. Just adding bulk does not mean that the dog is eating really well.
Right.
That's what we do. We make sure that the balanced meals, nutritionally analyzed, again built in from a lot of feedback.
I'll give you a fun anecdote.
Yeah.
So what I tell parents is, how do you know that the food is suiting your dog?
Right.
Right? And it may sound a little gross, so pardon me for that. Observe the poop. Okay? The moment you're eating kibble, you'll notice that 80% of that comes out in food. गोबर की तरह poop होता है उसका. The moment you switch to fresh food, it is easier to digest, higher digestibility of the food. So even if they're volumetrically they may be eating a little less or equal, you will notice that your poop is now in the right shape and size and consistency that it should be. Kibble will not give you that, and that's when you know that your dog's body is not soaking in the nutrients; it's just taking it in, giving it out.
You're out.
So that's a clear indicator. I think even for humans, but for dogs, I think observing poop gives you a good inside view of what's happening in the stomach and digestive system.
I think good health can't be a temporary pit stop. It's a lifelong journey. That is what health needs to be. And similarly for nutrition. Good nutrition is a lifelong journey. It can't be that it just comes out at this point, then it stops, then you have to do something else. And diet makes a huge difference.
Interesting. Okay. So, there's always this debate of, you mentioned that earlier as well, of veg versus non-veg and so now even vegan. So how do you sort of educate the pet parent, because they may be maybe a vegetarian and maybe their dog may be requiring non-veg food because of the certain amount of protein that comes with it, like fish gives omega-3. So how do you go ahead and educate them? And I'm sure there must be a lot of challenges.
This is a constant battle. I think, especially in India, I do not know. We often talk to our customers about this. They say that we're vegetarians and we cannot get meat inside. So I think they love their dog, putting the dog in the center, and that's how we talk to them. That these guys have a different dietary need than what we as humans do. You can thrive on a vegetarian diet, that is great. Your dog will also live. But is the dog thriving? Is it getting all the nutrients? Is it living the best life that it is capable of? No. Because there are a lot of nutrients like amino acids, taurine, that is not available in veg food. Okay? So you normally find all this vegetable also. They have to, if it's a balanced dog's diet, you have to supplement it through chemicals, but you have to give amino acids to the dog. Otherwise, their heart health will fail. You will not see, and parents, we always tell them, you don't realize it when they're puppies.
Right.
The effects of good nutrition or faulty nutrition you will see when they're in the senior ages. That is when you will realize that, your dog is not as healthy as probably others around.
And just to add to that, we do a lot of sampling. Just to see the difference in what happens to the dog, please sample our food. We won't charge you, but do a lot of sampling. Take the sample packs, feed your dog, see the difference, see the change, and it happens. And that's where the proof of the pudding, if I use the term, lies, right? Right. And so when you feed the dog, you know what's happening, you know the change in the activity levels, you can see the changes right in front of you. So when we also that becomes a critical part of what we also do or recommend.
Right. Okay, so how do you balance the demands of running a startup with maintaining your core mission?
Interesting question. A very simple yet very deep question, because we are a married couple. We run an organization. We are logged in 24/7. Uh, I think one aspect which is very clear is, as Mami had mentioned before, also what's at the core of the organization, the value and the principle. It's no junk food for diet, dogs. Healthy, good nutrition. That is always inside our hand. That is always at the back of our minds. That is also what we've drilled into the team as well. Right. Okay. The second part is between the two of us, since we run a lot of workflows, you have clear cut roles of what we do. I'm in the production side. I run the production. I make sure there's no stress from that which comes into the front office. She runs the whole nutrition piece. She works on the recipes with the vet and with the canine nutritionist. She's always looking at new products, innovating, feedback, talking to customers. We have a very good understanding of that. We respect each other's space also, and hence we're able to do that. And again, knowing what's the best thing for dogs is more important than anything else. Absolutely. And maybe you have something to add to that as well.
No, I think you've nailed it. I think every function of our organization is aligned to the core mission.
Sure.
And that's how we stay the course.
Okay, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced while setting up your supply chain, especially for perishable and nutritional products?
So, finding credible, trustworthy vendors was not an easy task. We also did a lot of sampling. We met a lot of vendors who were also now partners through referrals. We went to the markets. We spent a lot of time researching the right ingredient. So at 4 in the morning, we would go to the Sabzi Mandi. That's the time when the freshest produce comes in. And then we are there. We were hunting for a product with the production manager. Build relationships. Once we sample, we build those recipes. We created those food products. We saw the impact the food products had, the freshness of the produce that came to us, and how reliable it became over a period of time. We zeroed in on those vendor partners, and then we started working with them. Now we have been in a relationship with them for the last 4 years. Similarly for the packing vendors, similarly for the labeling and the sticker ones. The other thing is these are also the startups who want to do good work. So the other thing that has happened very naturally is that we've built an ecosystem around this business, right, which has a vegetable vendor, which has a meat vendor, which has a packing vendor, which has a labeling vendor, so on and so forth, and that has helped us grow, helped them grow as well. So the credibility is rubbed off, the trust factor is increased. It's built in.
Great, wonderful.
At the beginning, a lot of vendors would come in with high quality, but the quality also tends to fall after a point of time. So some of them are not consistent. We work with a lot of them, and we always talked about consistency and quality. And they also understood. So, for example, some of the vendors even know the names of the doggy clients that we have. So, for example, Didi came in and said, "कि अच्छा पॉपी भी खाना कब बन रहा है? मेरे पास मॉपी रहती है." No, it's those kind of stories that have also come into the system.
Lovely. What does success look for Natso Mats in the next 3 to 5 years? I know that's a very hackneyed or cliche question.
So yeah.
Where do you see yourself the next
I think I
time?
want to be, I will consider myself successful if I am recognized as a quality manufacturer of dog food.
Wonderful.
Nationally and internationally. We are already operating across India. We are in the process of starting exports. Okay, so I would want to be known as a quality manufacturer. At the same time, I think numbers help. So be a 50 crore plus company in the next 3 years is a goal that we are definitely chasing.
All the best for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think one emotional part of this question also is we want to be in as many dog households as possible, spreading healthy nutrition. Right. That is very critical to our existence.
Interesting. Okay, so what's that one story that makes that makes all the hard work worth it?
So we've had a lot of positive feedback over the years, but there are one or two stories that stay with you. So there's this dog Naughty who was very obese, and the mother had actually shared with us that she feels a little hesitant to even take him for walks because people are judging and they're kind of fat shaming the dog and saying, "Oh, look at your dog, he's so fat, he to chal nahi pa raha, ye kaise karta hai," all of that. And she felt very judged and very let down and would feel very sad. But once they moved to Nuts Over Mutts food, and over the next 6 to 8 months, there was a gradual decrease in the dog's weight. The dog got more energetic, had started running around, which had not happened in so many years. So I think that is a story that still gets me goosebumps. And other than that, there's one more story that made me believe in what we're doing is special, and I have to stay the course. Is that there is a dog Goofy who's been on our food ever since he was a puppy, 3 months old. Okay, and no tummy aches, no problem at all. The dog, the doctor, due to some reason, advised a change of diet to kibble. Normally doctors do that, and they कि नहीं ये ठीक खाना आपको मैं बताता हूँ. You have to move to this diet and this particular brand and all. In a month and a half, they were back because Goofy started getting runny motions, tummy issues, vomiting occasionally, which had never happened before. So she said, "You know what? I'm not going to listen to the dog, and I'm coming back to you guys because this is what has worked beautifully." So it gives you the juice that you need to continue the grind.
So, for example, the dog food industry or the pet food industry is still largely dominated by large organizations which manufacture kibble. The percentage is high, but through our effort and effort of similar organization, we're making a dent in the industry. We are trying to make sure that even if it's a minuscule percentage, it grows. And that minuscule percentage is a large number of dog households or other animal households. And, step by step, stone by stone, household by household, dog by dog, we're changing the mindset. I think that is also what is giving us a lot of, rocket fuel to go higher. That perception is changing. People are believing in this nutrition a lot more. People are moving away from convenience. It's not that I just need to buy a bag of food from the store and feed my dog. It's about making sure that I get the right nutrition for my dog. I understand. That movement is very critical. Similarly, the kind of treats that we make very healthy treats. Our dog biscuits also. It's a wide range. We make gluten-free dog biscuits. We make grain-free dog biscuit sticks. We make functional dog biscuits, rich in collagen.
See, Navneet, we have a range
That's
of
what we
52
do.
products.
Exactly.
We have a range of 54 products, and we started with just one meal.
Just one meal.
Right? And why did we evolve? We had initially, and I did not know I would get into treats or biscuits or dehydrated range, because I realized कि अच्छा खाना तो आप improve कर रहे हो. Treats are still a very large part of what is fed to the dog, but that is now full of junk. So what do? So we got into biscuits. Like he said, we have gluten-free. We have an entire range. I have grain-free and gluten-free. Even I don't know, sometimes I marvel how I have made it. Like, it has no grain, it has no gluten, it is nothing. It's just pure chicken and apple. Right? So we really worked very hard to innovate and bring the right set of products. Why is this working? Because today the relationship between a pet and their parent is changing. It's more like a child. It's more like, as you would love your human child, you love your pet child now, your furry child. They're very emotionally invested in their dog's well-being. It was not the case a few years ago, जब दूध रोटी खिला देते थे, chicken खा के फेंक देते थे, things like that. So the relationship is really changing. It's evolving, and that is why brands like Nuts Over Mutts are existing, because people are investing in it.
And why do we do well? Here's what we've done very well in terms of our processes and our compliances. We spent a lot of time in getting the right certification to run our kitchen setup, our manufacturing unit, in training the people, in making sure that product is healthy, hygienic, clean, from the time it comes as a raw material to the time it goes into manufacturing and leaves the kitchen as a packaged product itself. We make sure that the entire supply chain end to end is controlled really well, so that we can keep to that same promise of a healthy food product to your dog. even if it's a biscuit, even if it's a meal, even if it's a packet of broth, or a liquid meal, or it's a dehydrated treat like a chicken feet or a chicken neck, everything is taken care of very well.
That is why a family is 15,000 dogs and growing.
Wow, lovely.
Within India and outside, a lot of our clients have gone outside. They might, they've gone for the jobs, etc. They move, but they do take our products. Why? They buy in bulk. And the other thing that we've also done so well is that we have products which have a natural shelf life of 12 months without using chemicals.
Wow.
We use natural preservatives. These are things which are open to everyone. So the only problem is manufacturers, you also want to cut short their cycle production time and get to market quickly. We are not into that. We are happy with delayed gratification, but we want to make sure that we do everything by the hook, we do everything right.
Right.
Hence, the production cycle is not just that you do take raw material, put it in a machine, it will come out, and then you dispatch it. There's a lot more that goes inside that cycling process in itself.
Now we go over to the rapid fire round.
Yay!
Okay. One thing that your pet has taught you over leadership.
Perseverance. I think she doesn't give up. If there's a treat in your hand, she will make sure she gets it. And I think likewise, if you have a goal in mind, make sure you get it.
Lovely. Lovely. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Morning.
Wonderful.
Dehydrated treats or fresh meals?
Both actually. They're not either or.
Okay. And finally, if Nuts Over Mutts were a movie, what would the title be?
I think it would be not so much only. The serious dog love. That's who we are. That's what we believe.
I think now, yeah. The name is emotion.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Manvi, and thank you so much, Puneet, for
Thank you.
being part of this podcast series and giving such insightful information. I'm sure there's so many golden nuggets for all the dog lovers out there. And may your business grow and may you achieve your target before 3 years.
Thank you so much.
All the very best. And look forward to season 2 of the podcast series as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, bud.